One of the most useful things you can do when you're on a boat is to compact the size of your cans. Buying food in cans is very useful for sailors and liveaboarders because, of course, it stays for a long time. It's not that perishable. But you see the size of a can. Now let's just say any one meal I make could use up to 3 cans for 1 day's of eating. Now obviously, if you're using a bin bag, you know, these cans will add up space quite quickly, but there's mostly empty air inside, so it's inefficient to just stick cans straight into the bag like that. Now obviously what this video is about is crushing these cans. Now the way I do it is to use an arbor press, and I'm going to show you how. Now first, obviously you should wash your cans out. Now always use this. I made a mistake once of actually reaching into the can. I mean, it was just a dumb mistake, and I received one of the worst cuts I've ever had on my finger. Always use one of these, and you just want to get the gunk out of the can so that it doesn't smell in the bag. If every can you have is washed, then obviously you're going to save yourself a lot of grief with bad smelling bags. Now onto the actual arbor press. So these devices are quite often used for punching things, like punching rivets. There are other uses for an arbor press apart from this. If you're into knives and you want to make your own knife sheaths, I know that you can use an arbor press to punch the rivets into the kydex sheaths. It's potential that any other things such as snap fasteners, that kind of thing, could also be made with a arbor press, and therefore it is a semi-multi-useful thing to have on a boat, but they are very heavy. This one here is the smallest size I could get, and cans, as you'll see in a minute, just about fit into it. So it's actually the perfect size for me. Now what you want to do is, let's take this can as a starter. Now first off, put the can's lid inside it. So that is the wrong lid, that's the lid for this can. Watch your fingers on the side. Always watch your fingers. So now it actually can sit straight onto that part. And that will actually work fine because it's this doesn't matter. The rigidity is maintained. But you want to have a flat surface to sit on top of the can and push it down and crush it. Now my arbor press comes with this, which actually works very well. But if yours doesn't, or if you have something you don't have this, then you could use a flat cutting board from the supermarket, or like a cheapo frying pan maybe. I mean, but this, you need something flat and very heavy and non-compressible. So first step is to put your can on. Then you got this little pointy bit. Normally that actually sits in there, and then this is used to rotate around. But you want the pointy bit to be onto the inside of the can, and then that just about fits right underneath the arbor press. I mean, that's almost perfect fit. Like there's not much more room to work with here. And then just compress the can. Now this is a very tough process. So you're going to put your arm back here, and then go initially. Oh dear. It can be tough. There we go. So when you get that initial crunch, after that it's actually easier. So it's harder to start off. Then just crunch down, crunch down, crunch down, and that's about it. Now what we and we'll just take that off. That is fine, and you see we have a nice compressed can. Now you can see the difference between compressing all of your tin cans and not, in how much you can fit in a bin bag, in a plastic bag. And obviously for the liveaboarders, finding a place to take your trash is a big problem. Quite often you don't have the opportunity for a couple of weeks. So if you do this, it becomes even less of a problem. Let's crush the rest of these cans then. So the concept is the same, just repeat it. Put the press up bit on, put the can on, do the initial crush, crush down, crush down, and we're done. Crush can. Small can, Put the lid inside, top part on. Get it underneath the actual presser part. Oh, got my fingers coming off. There we go. Crushed can. Oh, we've got a bit of a thing coming off there, but so that was the part that was actually hanging down. So that doesn't always happen, but you can crush it again if we want. So it's crushed out very easily. And that's being crushed in. Always watch your hands on these because jagged parts can come out, so treat them with care. So those are the 3 cans I used to make out of one meal. When crushed, they're the same height as that smaller can now. Garbage. Obviously something like a drinks can won't fit in this press, but you can crush down bit by bit. Oh. This is where having something like a chopping board would actually might be useful, but I'm sure we can make it work. Oh, lost the. And now we'll press down. So that's the top bit. And get the other bit. Holding it in place because it's a little bit awkward. Just reorganise where the can is and get it pressed. That'll do for that. So there it is, and you can just do that by hand. Crush it again if you want, but that's perfectly fine. Don't normally use cans like this. I use plastic bottles, and then you can just crush them up anyway. If you like soft drinks, if you just like tea or coffee, then it's obviously not a problem. Once we're done, of course, we might have all manner of residue here. So rotate the press up. Use the weight of the arm to keep it in an upward position. Clean off, put the part back into this little hole here, and that normally sits there and it's slid around like that. Then move the press back down. If you wish, you can maybe, for making it more compact to store, you can put that part down like that, and then put the arm down like that, and then that there is ready to be put into some space or cupboard. And you can even use it to rebalance your boat. If your boat has a lean, aka more weight is on the port or the starboard side, you can put something like this down near the water line to the far starboard or to the far port to help rebalance your boat. It's very heavy. This thing in total is, I believe, around 15 to 20 kilograms, and this is the smaller size of what they had available. So yeah, there we go. But it's perfectly fine for cans, and didn't even buy it for that purpose, but when I thought, maybe I can crush these cans, this came to mind, and it works very well. Crushing that can there was a lot of work, and it I don't know if you saw it, but it seemed tough at times. So yeah, getting that initial crush is quite tough. So putting it on the deck, stomping it with big boots, obviously that's going to wreck your boots and wreck your deck, and then it can also hurt you. This is actually something I'll be keeping with from now on. So definitely great for long journeys where you've got lots of tinned food. It's great to keep that compressed in your bin bag. Perfect. Thank you very much. As an additional note, I just thought I would mention, first of all, common sense, but it pays to accumulate as many cans as you want and then do one crushing session of like 10 or 20 cans. Another thing I should mention is that you want to protect your surface you're working on as much as possible. I had a cloth there, but it did slide around a fair bit. What you can also get are these sort of silicone pot holders. They're on eBay. circular and rectangular variations, and they're very inexpensive. But what these are, they're very good. They've got good gripping because of their nature. So this could be a good thing to sort of stick the arbor press on to stop it slipping around and to make sure that it doesn't damage your surface. So those are some additional recommendations.